Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You're walking with Mr. Clay. I am Mr. Clay. And we give praise to the Most High, even the Most High I am. Yes, even whom we call Yah Allah, we call Yahweh, Yahuwah, Sanini Nanini, Tata Nzamni. Yes, we have given the Most High many names, or many names we know the Most High by. Yes, and first of all, I want to thank the Most High for all of you that have been with us since the beginning, and those of you who have been with us here and there's about. And also those of you who have just subscribed, as well as those of you who are contemplating subscription to this channel. And we thank God for you. Yes, we do. I do. And today we're in Jeremiah chapter 2, second chapter of Jeremiah. Yes, and we see that we're getting a repeat. Jeremiah is really prophesying more so of the Babylonian conquest that is about to come. Yes, the Babylonian conquest. We see Isaiah was talking about the Assyrian conquest, and he went all the way through unto the Persian conquest. And at that end point of the Persian conquest, we see that is where the book of Ezra and the book of Esther and Nehemiah come into play, the historical accounts. And as I was watching on social media, I noticed on one social media platform, you had Muslim and Christian women talking to each other. Now, they have their pros and cons. I give the Muslims part that the women are covered. Covered only means respect to your husband or your potential husband, that he should only see or even imagine what you are underneath all those clothes, because a man is visually attracted to a woman. Whether he legitimately wants to marry her or it is for other means. But in doing that, a woman, she causes herself to be less noticed. In other words, the woman is more noticed by her ability to want to help the man or be a wife, whichever you want to talk about. And the man, he prepares himself to be a husband and to be a leader among his wives, or with his wives, to, should I say, raise a community in his name, which they all benefit. Not just the man, all, the woman, the man, everyone benefits. It's not just sex, it is stability, it is relationship, it is ups and downs, it's having someone to support you, support system. Yes. And it is also a way that marriages stay together. Now, but they began to talk, and I noticed a lot of things. God is not interested in all what the angel Gabriel said about Christianity or what Christianity thinks about Islam. God is not interested in all of that. Gabriel has his duties according to the book of Enoch. And they went on, and next thing you know, I looked at him and I said, the whole thing about the Most High is the covenant. It's not a new covenant, it's the covenant, period. These things are a statute after all your generations. The Most High has said continually, or many times out of the Testament given to Israel. There's only one testament. The New Testament is not a testament. That's just something someone has made up and is very ingenious. I believe it's at the pattern of Deuteronomy chapter 28 to confuse you. The same thing with being a Muslim or Islam or whatever you want to call it. Yes, they all goodwill and all that, but man likes to go after what seemeth right unto man, and not what God has put forth for mankind, that even the children of Israel have agreed, saying, all that the I Am says, that will we do. Now, I can go back to all these histories and stuff, but are you keeping the commandments, statutes, and ordinances of the Most High? That is the bottom line of all of it. This is the cause of all the heartaches and pains and wars and all of this. You're trying to prove an historical account. You're trying to prove all these things of beliefs. So what? Your belief means whom you obey. Your belief is whom you obey. If you obey the Most High, even submit unto the Most High, or Yah as you call him, God, Yahweh, Yahuwah, Sanini Nanini. If you submit unto the law, statutes, commandments, and ordinances that he has delivered unto the children of Israel, being governed and administered by the children of Aaron, even the children of Levi. And then they come up with something saying born again. No, you have to be born a Levite. You have to be born an Israelite. Not born again, born. And most of the time, these days and times, God only knows who is who. And so we have to really pay attention to what is going on here. You're being bamboozled either way, whether you're Islamic or whether you're Christian or whatever denomination after that. You're being deceived. The bottom line is the law. The law is the measure of love. If you want to go into the Greek wording of it, the law is the measure of love. The law is what things are judged by. The law is the mirror. The law is the standard. It's not whiteness, it's not blackness, it's not the opaqueness or whatever you want to call it. It's the law. It's not how long Methuselah lived and all this stuff and all that. It's the law, statutes, ordinances, and commandments. We have to really understand this. Now, getting into Jeremiah chapter 2. And before we go into that, let's say the prayer of Abram. Deliver me from the hands of evil spirits who have swayed the thoughts of men's hearts, and let them not lead me astray from thee, my God. Establish thou me and my seed, that we go not astray henceforth and forever. That can be found in Jubilees chapter 12 and verse 20. Jeremiah chapter 2. Moreover, the word of the I Am came to me, saying, Go, cry in the ears of Jerusalem. Thus saith the I Am, I remember thee, the kindness of thy youth, the love of thy espousals, when thou wentest after me in the wilderness, in the land that was not sown. He's talking about after when the time of Joshua, when they began to do those things and subdue the land and sacrifice unto the Most High. The Levites were doing it continually, 24 hours a day, and everyone just said, David called and those who would dance before the law, knowing that this thing is right, not only toward God, but toward their fellow Israelite. Yes. Israel was holiness unto the I Am. You say, how can eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth be holiness unto the I Am? Because it's fair. It's right. How can putting an adulterer or adulteress to death be holiness before the Most High? Because it's fair. You have just killed or sold something that does not belong to you. You've destroyed the man whom the wife belonged, and you've destroyed the covenant between the man and the wife. And the man is like unto the Most High in the marriage sense. Not that he's the biggest and baddest. God doesn't even rule over you like that. But you made an agreement. All that the I Am said, that will we do. Holiness unto the I Am, and the first fruits of his increase. And all that devour him shall offend. Evil shall come upon them, saith the I Am. You know, I protect you. I was jealous for you, as a husband is jealous for his wife. Not to the point of evil, but to the point that I will step over nations to come at your rescue. Especially a faithful wife. This is what the I am is saying. Hear ye the word of the I am in verse 4. O house of Jacob, all the families of the house of Israel. Thus said the I am, what iniquity have your fathers found in me? What did your fathers find in me that you should be even going the wrong way? Is the Most High saying. That they are gone far from me, that they and have walked after vanity and become vain. What has transgression against the law been so good and you are not walking with me? You made a covenant. You said you would, all that we have agreed to. Thou shalt not have any other gods before me. No Jesus, no Yahushai, no Yahusha, no other gods, no Buddha, no other thing, no other doctrines. No. God didn't change that. Men changed that. And the fact is, he says, thou shalt not make any images to bow down before them. And he goes on to tell our relations that we have before God to our fellow Israelite and the strangers that would come and do those things which are right before the I am. Yes, the Most High does. But what have you found in me? Haven't I not been fair with you? Have not we have gone over what we said as far as the law, statutes, commandments, and ordinances? If you do not do them, this will happen. Did not you agree to these things? You should have taught them to your children of our agreement. But no, neither said they, where is the I am that brought us up out of the land of Egypt and led us through the wilderness and through a land of deserts and pits, through the land of drought and of shadow of death, the land no man passed through and where no man dwelt. And I brought you into plentiful country to eat fruit thereof and the goodness thereof. And when ye entered, ye defiled my land and made my heritage an abomination. It was just like when the colonizer came into the Americas. He saw fruit everywhere. The fruit trees. People didn't have to go to the farms to find different fruits, oranges, apples, and different things. They grew wildly. In the jungles, in the forest, they grew wildly. And the people ate freely. No money was exchanged. Nothing. But those things that were taken of seed, yeah, they did plant them. But then when the colonizer came, he destroyed everything, just like a grasshopper. And so the same thing here. What is the Most High saying? I brought you into a plentiful country to eat fruit thereof. Goodness, but when ye entered, ye defiled my land. What did they do? And made my heritage an abomination. They did not give the land its Sabbath, its rest. See, many of you have farms. You call yourself an Hebrew Israelite, and you will not give the land rest. Is he just talking about Jerusalem, or is he talking about the whole world? That's up to you to decide. The priest said not, where is the I am? And they that handle the law knew me not, even in this day and time. The pastors, those that lead is what he's talking about. You got to remember, you're dealing with a Greek translation in an English language. They transgressed against me. How did they transgress? The covenant. And the prophets prophesied by Baal and walked after things that do not profit. In other words, sensual. What you feel it should be. What seems right unto you instead of what is just written. Oh, that's legalism, they say. No, it's not legalism. It is God. God is one who works by law. Everything is governed by laws. Electricity, the workings of your body, the workings of the sun, moon, and stars, everything works by law. And when those laws are violated, you come out with an abomination. Either way it goes, God has proven, even in the marriage, everything works by law. The law of the marriage is the agreement between the husband and wife. And once that is gone, you come out with an abomination. Look at our societies today throughout the world. Abomination. Nobody walks in their order. Very few walk in their order. Correction. He says now, in verse 9, wherefore I will plead with you, saith the I am, and with your children's children will I plead. For over the isles of Chittim and see, and send unto Kedar, and consider diligently, and see if there be such a thing. Have nations changed their gods, which are no gods? But my people have changed their glory for that which does not profit. Be astonished, O ye heavens, at this, and be horribly afraid. Be ye very desolate, saith the I am. In other words, everybody else kept their gods. The Egyptians still have their gods, even though they have changed people, and people have come, they're swallowed up into the paganistic societies. You got over in the Arabic nations, although it's a change, different people, they still are swallowed up into the way of the Arabs, the Persians, the Medes. They're swallowed up into it, although they have cast out the original people. Now, he goes on to say, be astonished, ye heavens. These people have not changed their gods. They have, both of them are a form of universal Christianity. Yes, it is. He says, now, be astonished, O ye heavens, at this, and be horribly afraid, and be ye very desolate, saith the I am. He says, oh, be desolate. Watch this. For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewn them out cisterns, broken cisterns. They cannot hold no water. Now, when you have a broken cistern or a broken vessel that holds water, you might get a little water, a little hydration, but it's not going to satisfy you. As with one that is not broken, which will give you its full measure. Now, is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? He's asking you a question, Israelite. Are you a servant? I ain't not saying you shouldn't work for anyone, but are you a servant to work for free? Or a servant that has caused himself to be made to serve because of his transgressions, without paying a bill, or have broken into someone's house, or have caused someone injury that you could not pay and somebody paid it for you, so therefore you are indentured to the person that had paid that debt. This is what that means. The heathen have twisted it. This is why you have their prison system, because they can make money off of you that really doesn't benefit anyone that you have violated. No one. Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? The young lions roared upon him and yelled, and they made his land waste, and his cities are burned without inhabitants. Also the children of North and Tahaphanes, yes, have broken the crown of thy head. Hast thou not procured this unto thyself, in that thou hast forsaken the I am thy God when he led thee by the way? In other words, you're foolish. You looking for the glitter and the gold. This is where all these sayings come from. And he says in verse 19, and now, or should I say 18, and now hast thou to do the way of Egypt, and to drink the waters of Syre, or what thou hast to do in the way of Assyria, to drink the waters of the river. Now thine own wickedness shall correct thee, and thy backsliding shall reprove thee. Know therefore and see that it is an evil thing and bitter, that thou hast forsaken the I am thy God, and that my fear is not in thee, saith the I am. You have to look at it, even in the time that they speak of this Isus or Yahusha. It was the religious factions that have came up with the doctrine of the New Testament. because they were trying to bring God. This is what they're doing, bringing God to the level of man. No flesh can contain God or the I am, the creator. No flesh. We do not understand the I am in that fashion of who the I am really is and what consists of the I am. We don't know. You can say all you want, but you're just guessing, and many of you just lying. We don't know. No man has ever seen the I am. Oh, he must have looked like a man because he made man in his image. Maybe, maybe not. We don't know. But we know one thing, that man is jealous for his wife. And God is jealous for those whom he has chosen. We cannot come to an assumption on God lest we be found liars and wicked. Now he goes on to say, thine own wickedness shall correct thee, and thy backsliding shall reprove thee. Why? Because it's going to come back at you. You're trying to be like everybody else. You're trying to be like the Christians. You're trying to be like the Muslims. You're trying to be like the pagans that worship idols and all these other things. Well, Christians do worship idols too. But the fact is that you worship these things. He says, now these things are going to come back at you, because one thing about it, look at the ones who followed those not of their own people. Next thing you know, they found up they're deleted in some way or another, because their own ways of not following the way of their people, they figured their people wasn't no good, so they went and followed another people, and those people just made muse of them and did what they would with them and got away with it, if you know what I'm talking about. He says now, but thou hast forsaken. This is what God is saying. This is why the Most High is making a case. This is why you're being judged. You have forsaken the I am your God, and that my fear is not in thee. You want to do anything you big enough and bad to do. So it was then, and it is now, saith the I am of hosts. Verse 20. For the old time I have spoken by thy yoke, and burst thy bands, and saidest, I will not transgress when upon every high hill, and under every green tree thou wanderest playing the harlot. It's just like a wife. You've married her. We don't understand this and we get it wrong. You married this wife, and she's behind your back. She's playing like she's your wife. This is the hypocrisy that this woman is portraying. But yet she's flirting with every man to the point where she gets to lay with one or two or three. And these men are just, they're amused that they could change her from the love or the should I say, the oath and the covenant that she has with her husband to lay with them. And once they finish, they turn against her, call all kinds of names, and the man is brought to shame. Oh, you don't hear me. But anyway, he said, now, you played the harlot, yet I planted thee a noble vine. In other words, the man give you a house, I give you food, he says, I give you stability. Children are fed and everything. I risk my life in many ways. He says now, yet I planted a noble, holy, right, and a right seed. Now when thou art turned into the degenerate plant of strange vines unto me, for though thou wash thee with nitre, and take thee much soap, yet thine iniquity is marked before me, saith the I am. How canst thou say I am not polluted? This is the religious fact. This is hypocrisy. We read in the book of Isaiah where God talked about the hypocrisy of the Israelite. He talked about it. We're not talking about Islam or Christianity. Those are not of who are going toward the law. Christianity says the law is passed. Islam says they follow another doctrine, another thing. But they use Christianity mainly in their teachings and not the way of Abram. Even Jacob, which is the law, statutes, commandments, and ordinances, that is the way, the truth, and the life we should live. Yes, it is. The coverings I give to the Islamic people, yes, the coverings of their women and the morality that they have, but then we get to the point of the law. I don't care about you saying Allah or whatever, but we get to the point about the law, the measure of holiness. When you're holiness of the Lord, of the I am, of Allah, that means that you have done that which was in the covenant between Jacob and the Most High. Yes, this is all it means. Any other thing, any other religion, any other way is off. You're gone. It's wrong because you got it from the original and deviated. Whoever did, they deviated from it and made it make sense to you. Ingenious. Yes, but anyway, he says, now, you can do all you want to do. He says, how can thou say I am not polluted and I have not gone after Balaam? You're going after your Jesus, your Mary statutes and all this other stuff. You've gone after your rock, which you kiss on your Hajj, and you've gone after those things that are not right. You believe in a demigod, and you put someone against God. God says there's no one before me, and have no other gods beside me. Even your Yahushua. It doesn't matter. God has no son. Even does not, you Islamists say, God says be and it is. God does not beget. Let's make this make sense. See thy way in the valley. Know what thou hast done. Thou art a swift dromedary, traversing her ways. A wild ass used to the wilderness that suffs up the wind at her pleasure and her occasion. Who can turn her away? And all that seek her will not weary themselves in the month they shall find. Withhold thy foot from being unshod and thy throat from thirst. But thou saidest, there is no hope, for I have loved strangers, and after them I will go. You're going after the religions of other people. As the thief is ashamed when he is found, so is the house of Israel ashamed. They, their kings, their princes, and their priests, and their prophets, saying to a stock, thou art my father, to a stone thou hast brought me forth. Listen, for they have turned their back unto me, and their face, but in time their trouble will they say, arise and save us. And they have done this ever since they came out of the land of Egypt. And the ones that they run to and forsake the I am have done the same thing. The same things. They go against them. They use them as slaves because of another man's religion, another man's laws, and all this is nothing but slavery to one who belongs to another system, political system, religious system. But the Most High is a political system, as well as religious, as we would define such things. And he goes on to say, but where are thy gods that thou hast made thee? Where is your Marys, your crosses? What have they done for you? You have high blood pressure, sickle cell. Your babies are born with all manner of evil things. But yet you do not turn to the Most High in obeying that which the Most High have caused you to understand, even the laws, statutes, commandments, and ordinances. You argue over trivial stuff instead of saying, what does the law say? You don't consider yourselves subjects unto a king. that you cannot see or know, but yet the law that this king has put forth and is agreed to by the subjects are yet still in force today. And you're suffering because of it. Deuteronomy chapter 28. Now, he says now in this, but where are thy gods? Let them arise. If they can save thee in thy time, where's your Jesus? He can't save you. Where's your Muhammad or your Gabriel? He can't save you. Or your rock that fell from the sky. They can't save you. He said, for according to the number of thy cities are thy gods, O Judah. Now Judah is beginning to fall under judgment. God is showing his case. Why is Judah beginning to go under the captivity of Babylon? God is stating his case. He's judging them according to the law, that you have other gods beside me. He's judging them according to the law, that you have made images to bow down to. He's judging them according to the law, and it is fair because they have agreed. When you agree with the Most High, you have to keep. It's better not to make an oath than to make an oath and not keep it. And this is what happened, even according to Deuteronomy chapter 28. The oath and the consequences of not keeping that oath. He says, wherefore will ye plead with me? Ye all have transgressed against me, saith the I am. That's self-explanatory. In vain have I smitten your children. They receive no correction. Your own sword have devoured your prophets like a destroying lion. O generation, ye see the word of the I am. Have I been a wilderness unto Israel, a land of darkness? Wherefore say my people, we are lords. When you say Lord, who are you talking to? You say, oh, it's supposed, the word Lord is supposed to mean owner in so many things, but definitions go with popular opinion. We will come no more unto thee. It says, we are the lords, we are the owners. You're no more. Can a maid forget her ornaments or a bride her attire? Yet my people have forgotten me the days without number. The days God married Israel. Forgot that you were married to God by saying the oath. All that the I am says, that will we do. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore thou hast taught the wicked ones thy ways. Yes, and they know how to you take your ways, the ways of the Most High, and use them against you, as even in this day. Also in thy skirts found the blood of the souls of the poor, the innocents. Yes, it's Christianity. The way they use it throughout in Islam, they have used it throughout the whole world. Enslaving. Yes, using bits and pieces of the historical accounts and the laws and statutes of the Most High to benefit themselves. They've turned those things of the Most High against those that the Most High have chosen. Yes, they have done this. Murdered your children and your wives and caused you to be put ashamed in many ways. Yes, they have. But this is because of Deuteronomy chapter 28. You rather go that way. And a bigger thing is about to come that you know not of. And many will turn unto the Most High, but few will stay, and then that great time. But nevertheless, he says, can a maid forget her ornaments, a bride her attire? Yet my people have forgotten me without number. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways. Also in thy skirts, found in the bloods of the souls of the poor and innocents, have I not found it by secret search, but upon all these? Yet thou sayest, because I am innocent, surely his anger shall turn from me. Behold, I will plead with thee, because thou sayest, I have not sinned. You said you have not sinned. By what standard are you measuring sin? Why gettest thou about so much to shame thy way? Thou also shalt be ashamed of Egypt, and thou shalt as thou was of Assyria. Yea, thou shalt go forth from him, and thine hands upon thine head, for the I am have rejected thy confidence. Thy confidence, your faith, it's the same thing. Confidence and faith. Faith in what? And thou shalt not prosper. Your faith in your own righteousness, and you shall not prosper. And if we keep those things that are right and turn unto the law, statutes, commandments, and ordinances of the Most High, yes, we will prosper, as Joshua 1:8 says, and we will have peace.